thanks. Like, hey, Scoob, did you hear Nikki Blake is hosting a Scooby-Doo panel? No. Yeah. Like on today's Scooby-Doo episode, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy meet Nikki Blake. Yeah, and a Scooby Panel. Like, we need to get this puppy started. Okay, Nikki Blake, take it away, Scooby-Doo.
Welcome to the Scooby Panel. I'm your host, Nikki Blake from scooby-addicts.com. I'm joined by Wendy BRYDGE, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We are celebrating 2024. Happy New Year to everybody. I still can't believe it's already 2024, but here we are. And 2024 is going to be fun. It's going to be fun on the panels, and I hope it's going to be fun for Scooby fans. I'm hoping we see some good merchandise this year. I'm hoping we get a movie or two, and maybe even a series. Velma doesn't count.
Yep.
I'm hoping we get a Scooby-Doo series that stays true to the integrity of the show. I would just love to see something fun. Wendy, what are you hoping to see with Scooby this year?
Yeah, I kind of, even though I haven't been the biggest fan of the movies that they were doing, you know, where we're getting like 2 every year for a long period of time. But I do kind of miss not seeing a Scooby movie come out, because at least those, even if they weren't your favorite, they were still pretty good. They were still reasonably within that like basic Scooby formula, which you can't really go wrong with. So I kind of miss having a new movie to look forward to every year, or 2 of them, even better. What a kind of random, but also would really like to see Hallmark go back to doing 2 Scooby ornaments instead of just the 1. Because for years and years, guys, that was 2 all the time. And I don't know, Anita's been sculpting some pretty nice pieces. I'd like to see her do 2 this year.
They did have that Mystery Machine one on their website when they first put the ornaments on, and I had posted it, and then they took it off their website. But I found it the other day. I found it on Amazon.
Really? Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't see it. It wasn't in the store that I went to.
I don't think Hallmark ever sold it. I think it just went right onto Amazon, but Hallmark did have it on their website when they first put the new 23 ornaments on.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Well, definitely would love to see. There's been a lot of Scooby merch lately, although not up here in Canada. Excuse me, manufacturers and sellers, like, my money is worth something. I mean, it's not worth as much, but I am willing to pay a little bit more if I have to get some of that up here. But that Valentine's Day little statue that they have at the moment, I mean, I'm never going to see one up here, but it looks really good, because they've kind of been, if they're doing plushes and stuff, they've kind of been favoring that Scoob aesthetic for Scooby, which I kind of like classic Scooby a little bit better, but that little figurine looks really, really great. So they are still capable of doing a really cool kind of little figure for Scooby. Would love to see some more of that. Maybe a new greeter that looks more like the classic greeters instead of the smaller Scoob ones. But yeah, just, I don't know. I do want to see a little bit more Scooby. I'm a little scared, obviously, like with things like Velma and where they might go with it. But I mean, they don't have to go that route. They definitely could just like scale it back a little bit. I think the top of my wish list for Scooby in 2024 probably won't happen, but there is still so much classic Scooby that has not come out on physical media. And this year, this is Scooby's 55th anniversary, would be the perfect time to maybe put out the rest of the Scrappy episodes, or definitely would love to see like an actual DVD release of those few episodes of the Scooby-Doo show that have never come out on disc. Maybe we could get the whole Scooby-Doo show in one collection. That would be my dream. But I mean, there's so many things that could be done. There really is. And I'm just excited to hopefully see something positive that's Scooby related, that we can all sit down and enjoy, and not get mad and hate watch like other things that we won't talk about.
I'm hoping people don't hate watch season 2, because I don't want there to be any more. I really
Agreed.
don't. I mean,
Agreed.
if you didn't like the first season, you're not going to like the second season. We don't need to make this a big thing. Just don't watch it. They'll get the hint and they'll leave it alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because it's Scooby doesn't mean that you have to watch it or like it.
Right.
It's okay not to.
And it is Scooby's 55th this year, so they could do something fun. I mean, it's not like a major milestone, but I mean, 55, that's pretty cool. So
absolutely.
I would love to see them release the Scooby-Doo show as one collection. I would love to see them release an entire collection of every series. That would be really cool. It would be really expensive, but it would be really cool. Put it in a haunted house, not a mystery machine, because we've seen so many DVD sets in a mystery machine already.
Right.
We need something like a plastic haunted house. You know, give us something cool. And the entire collection of every series of Scooby-Doo. Velma doesn't count. Scooby's not in it.
Agreed. 100%.
So we have some fun stuff coming up on the Scooby panel too. I'm finally going to do the trivia, the Are You Smarter Than a Scooby Fan? Those will be part of the panel. And I'm excited. I have some fun prizes to give out, so I'm super excited to do it. And you know, I love to see how good people are or not good at answering trivia questions. It's hard to do when you're on the spot.
Oh, it really is. It's easy to watch stuff and be like, oh, I could have answered that. Like, you know, like that. And then you're doing it. And when you're on the spot, your mind is just blank. You know, what's Scooby's last name? And you have no clue. You have no clue. You've known since you were 4, but all of a sudden now with like 5 people watching you, you have no clue what it is. So it's sometimes trivia is more fun to watch than participate in, but it can be fun both ways. And I think that everyone will really enjoy even just the concept of how you're going to do it. I think it will be like a fresh spin on trivia. And yeah, absolutely stay tuned. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. We have a big project that we're working on, a bunch of us together, and eventually it will become a panel and it's going to be so cool. And I'm so excited. It may not happen in 2024, but the project is going to start in 2024. So it doesn't matter how long it takes, it is going to be amazing.
Yeah, good things are worth waiting for. And the more hard work you put into it, the better the product at the end. So yeah, that should be pretty exciting to do.
And I'm hoping that we have some fun interviews coming up. We did just do an interview with Scott Geralds, and I'm so excited. That's going to be the next episode. Long time coming for that one. We finally got to talk to him, and it was amazing. We learned so much stuff from Scott. He's great, and he's a true Scooby fan. So that makes a difference when, you know, you have somebody working on Scooby and they're actually a Scooby fan. They really put their heart and soul into it, and Scott really puts his heart and soul into it.
Absolutely. I feel like you can't fake passion for something. And if you don't have the passion for what you're working on, technically, like in a technical sense, your work can be very good, but it doesn't have any soul to it. And all of the things that Scott works on, whether it's animation and a TV show, or it's artwork for a DVD cover or for comic books, you would have to be blind to not be able to see that Scott loves what he's working on, that it's not just a job for him. Like, this is like his life and it's what he loves. And if anyone in the world of 2024 right now is still trying to keep Scooby's integrity intact, it is Scott Geralds. So yeah, we love Scott for that. And he has lots of fun stories. And you might even see a familiar face on the panel. So you're going to have to come and check that out coming up soon, because everyone's going to enjoy it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know. I'm trying to think, what else do we have coming up? Lots of topics, lots of fun topics. I've already started planning birthday episode, the Christmas episode. Like, I'm ready for these.
Yeah.
Not ready for them to happen yet. Like, we do need to enjoy 2024, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's always good when there's a new year and you can kind of, I feel like even if you're not consciously doing this, the turn of the year sort of makes you start looking at things like with fresh eyes. And that's the perfect time to have a discussion about themes or topics or whatever about a thing that you love. Because, I mean, we've lived with Scooby for a very long time. Scooby's been around 55 years almost for all of us since we were kids. And the great thing about an evergreen show like Scooby is that it ages very well, in my opinion. I think that classic Scooby is like classic Twilight Zone. You can watch it anytime, any person, and it's still relevant. What they're doing is relevant. It's still funny. It's still enjoyable. It's still a lot of fun. And I love that about Scooby. And so we're just never going to run out of things to talk about. And as you watch it, as you get older, you notice different things and different things strike you a different way. And I think that is the true sign of a very well done series or character or whatever it is. Like that is very special. And I would venture to say that Scooby has already, if he hasn't done it completely, he is like that close to surpassing Mickey Mouse as like the top cartoon. I think so. That's because I feel like Disney as a whole might be bigger than Scooby, but Scooby's bigger than Mickey. I would argue that. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. And we did talk about why it's okay to like Disney, but not okay to like Scooby. But I'm finding that lately I haven't been getting any crap from anybody for liking Scooby. It's like now they've just accepted it. And yeah, so maybe we are turning a corner here. Maybe Scooby is going to beat out Mickey Mouse. I mean, he does for me. He's
me too.
Definitely better than Mickey to me.
Yeah. Although, hey, maybe that's what we need in 2024. We need a Scooby Mickey mashup where they get together and solve some kind of mystery.
Yeah.
Or they have like a SmackDown wrestling match and Scooby just beats up Mickey and wins, and that's the end of that.
Yeah. Either one would be cool.
Yeah. Fan fiction, everybody. Make it happen.
Right. So we're super excited for this year, and we hope you are too. We hope that you stay tuned, that you enjoyed the episodes that we put out and topics that we're discussing, and maybe you want to be on a panel. So just send me a message, send Wendy a message, whatever. You want to be on a panel? We are always looking for new people because we want to hear what you have to say. It's exciting. It's exciting to talk about Scooby with Scooby fans. If you have not had the chance to do that, it is like nothing else because no one is judging you. No one is like rolling their eyes. Everybody is on the same page, and it's really cool.
Yeah. And it's great too when if you're talking about something like your collection or new products or whatever, when at least the people that we associate with, if you find something that you've really been wanting, everyone else is happy for you. Or if you want something and you haven't been able to find it, other people are like on the lookout for it. And one day you might just get this message from one of them being like, hey, I saw this on eBay or I saw this in the store. Like, I know you were looking for it. And I think that that's something really special. And I don't know, I'm sure that there are people like that in every fandom. I would like to think that Scooby has an abundance of pleasant, decent people in it. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to enjoy something with somebody else without the negative sort of like undertone of like, oh, well, you have something that I don't, or you've done this and I haven't. And because that takes the fun out of everything. So like when we do panels and stuff and the people that we talk to and that hang out with us and message us and we do things with, like everyone just enjoys it. And that's what's the point of doing it if you're not going to enjoy it? And this is going to be like 3-year anniversary for the panel, right?
Right.
So that's a big deal. 3 years is a long time.
It is a long time. Yeah. And to think, like, I was so afraid to even do these panels, and now we're going on 3 years. Wow.
Yep. No, it's been a great ride, and I appreciate that you have let me come on this ride because it has been so much fun. And definitely thank you to everyone that has watched a panel or that interacts with us or shares it, takes part in challenges, you know, anything like that. Like, thanks guys, because without you, we'd just be sitting here talking to each other, but that would be fine too because it's Scooby and it's fun and it doesn't matter how many people are involved. You still love it.
So true. And we have our longest recording was 5.5 hours, and only like 3.5 of that was the panel itself. The rest of it was just because we wanted to keep talking, and conversation can get pretty interesting once we're done with the actual panel.
Yeah, that's that Scooby panel after dark.
Yeah.
That you don't get to be a part of unless you're on the panel.
That's right. So other than all of that, I have a blog post that I put out I try to do it every January. It doesn't always happen, where I post all the stuff that I know that's coming up in 2024 for Scooby-Doo. So merchandise or shows or anything like that. Wendy, you have a blog post that you do?
Yes, hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed it will be up this month because that is my New Year's resolution, is to like get onto that schedule and do it. But yes, I have been enjoying sharing a full year's worth of collecting each year with all the highlights of all the Scooby stuff that I got in 2023. So hopefully this month, come over to my blog and see all the cool Scooby stuff that I got and make your new wish list, because there's definitely some pretty cool pieces that I think other people they're gonna be on the hunt for them too. I was super blessed, got lots of nice things, like we talked about on a recent panel. Got all of my holy grails now, to the point that I had to make a new grail list, which again, that's the great thing about Scooby, is that you think you're done. You're never done. There's always something more to collect. But as long as you're enjoying it and you love it, what could be better than that?
So true. And I do love your blog posts because it's just so cool to see all the stuff that you got. You know, like I look at it and I'm just like, oh, I'm so happy that you got this stuff, and some of it I never even knew existed. So it's
Right.
cool too, because I find things that I didn't know even were a thing, and then they get added to my wish list.
Yeah. And then they go on Scooby Museum, which, guys, Scooby Museum is always free to join, be a member, help contribute to the massive. Did any of us ever actually stop and think how many Scooby items are in existence?
So when I started the museum, I was thinking, what? There couldn't be more than like a couple thousand things, right? I had no clue the amount of Scooby merchandise that exists. And we have over 6,000 items on the museum, and that doesn't even touch the amount of Scooby stuff that has been released. I had no idea. Scooby Museum like opened my eyes and made me realize that, one, I can never ever have every Scooby thing that has ever been made. It's impossible.
Right. Yeah.
And two, that it's really cool to just go on Scooby Museum and just look at all the stuff. You can just scroll through just the little thumbnail images, and it's just so cool to see it all in one place. And I can't wait to add so much more to the museum, just because I like to just sit there and look at it. It's almost not as great, but almost as cool as looking at the Warner Brothers catalogs.
That's a good point. That's very, very true. It is. It's like a WB catalog on steroids, because there's 6,000 things instead of just like maybe 100 in one little book.
Yeah.
It's also really neat to be able to see who is collecting what. Like which person, you know, like what's in your collection? Like what do you like to add that I'm not as crazy about? I know a lot of people collect a lot of the clothing and stuff. I love to see other people's collection. And on Scooby Museum, if you're adding stuff, a lot of people are adding what they have. It's not just random things. They're adding from their collection. And I just think that that's so neat to just see people's different, especially when you get to know some of these people and you know what their personality is and what they're like. And then you get to see like, what is it that you like to collect when it comes to Scooby, and how is that different from me? And to just see how you can be totally different people and like the same things, or be very similar and have a different taste in merchandise. And there's just so many cool things out there that, like you say, I feel like we have barely scratched the surface on Scooby merch, especially when you get into foreign pieces, which are sometimes the coolest. But how would you ever know that they exist until one pops up on the internet and you think, wow, what is that? Because I want one.
Yeah. The nice thing about the museum too is you can add things to your favorites. So if you're like me, sometimes you forget to update your favorites, and then your husband buys you something that you already have because you didn't update your favorites. But I'm learning, I'm getting better, that when I add it to my collection, I'm removing it from favorites. But what's nice is I can just say to him, here, these are the things that I really want. And he doesn't have to ask me because he knows it's on the museum. It tells him what I want. He can find it and he can buy it, and I'll never even know. So it's nice.
Perfect.
So guys, let us know what you're looking forward to in 2024. Scooby related. It doesn't even have to be Scooby related. It can be whatever, anything you're looking forward to. I know I'm looking forward to new panels. I'm looking forward to more conversations with Wendy and all the people that we have had on the panels. And yeah, it's just gonna be such a cool year.
Yeah, definitely going to. It's hard to say best year ever because you think that every year and then it happens every year. But they're all so equally great too for different reasons. But getting to meet the people that work on Scooby, I think, is such a special privilege. And there's just no way, if you had told 7-year-old Wendy that at some point in her life that she would get to meet someone that actually, like, with their own hands had something to do with this thing that you love so much. And that is just it's a privilege. And thank you to everyone that has come on a panel with us, especially those of you that have worked on Scooby-Doo, because we absolutely understand that your time is very valuable. And I really hope that everyone who has been on has enjoyed it, has enjoyed themselves and had a good time. And we just love all of you. If you've had a hand in Scooby, or you have a hand in keeping him alive and keeping him the way that he is, like, thank you from the Scooby panel, from me and Nikki, and from all of us, that we're just going to love Scooby until the end of time. There's no question about it. I don't ever see myself growing out of this. You know, a lot of times when you're young and, oh yeah, you'll grow out of that. Yeah, you like that now, but yeah, so much for that.
Yeah, I don't see it changing at all. No. We're going to wrap things up. Stay tuned to see what we have planned for 2024, and we will see you on the next panel. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to another Scooby panel. I'm Nikki Blake from ScoobyAddicts.com. If you like these panels, please subscribe to my channel for more great discussions. A huge shout out to our patrons, Julie Rosen, Ross from ScoobyFan.net, Tagus, and Elizabeth Maloney. If you would like to support the Scooby panel, please go to patreon.com/ScoobyAddicts. A very special thank you to artist, blogger, and Scooby collector Wendy BRYDGE for being on so many of the panels with me. She adds so much to every conversation, is so much fun to talk to, and I can always count on her to be prepared, to show up, to help me when I'm overwhelmed or unsure of the ideas I have, and to reel me back in when I need to be told I bit off more than I can chew. I couldn't ask for a better co-host. Thank you so much, Wendy. Scooby Panel is available in podcast form on most podcast platforms, or as a web series on YouTube. You can find Scooby Panel on Instagram, Facebook, and X as @ScoobyPanel. Scooby and Shaggy were voiced by Scott Innes. Check out Scott's website, onescottshop.com. Scooby Addicts artwork by Will Davenport. Video editing by Nikki Blake. Music composed and performed by Bovine Nightmares. Please join us next time for another Scooby panel.